You're good. We're live and we are recording.
Sorry, guys. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I just took a capsule, so I'm on 10. I needed a boost. I know I'm gonna be up all night. I'm grateful. All right, I am so excited for tonight. So excited for tonight. Look, I got my girl gang shirt on because we're going to talk about the number one girl gang, Bethany the boss, and we got Mary tonight. We got two people tonight. I met Bethany at a getaway. We met in Punta Cana, right? We met in Punta Cana. That was my first lifestyle getaway. I saw her husband walking through the hallway somewhere, and I like chased him down, like, where's Bethany? Where is your wife? And he was like, she's here somewhere. I'm like, I need to meet her. Let me know when you find her because I want to talk to her. And so we have been friends ever since. I am so blessed. She calls me her fairy thrive godparent, and I am even more blessed that just to have her as a friend. If you guys don't know Bethany the Boss, find her on Instagram. She wears many hats. She breeds dogs. She does nails. She does this Thrive Life. And the thing I admire about Bethany and her team is their bond. You can truly see that they have a bond. Whenever one of them shows up, they all show up. If one has an interview, they all have an interview. Like, I really do admire that about her team. Empower women, and they represent that very, very well. So she brought on Mary. I asked her to bring someone on to hear their story. I don't know who's gonna go first. I'm gonna let Bethany take this over or Mary take this over. Guys, get your hearts ready, get your notebooks out, take notes, take mental note. However you take notes, take note, guys, because I'm telling you, the one thing you wanna do is have a bond on your team. You will appreciate your journey when you hear other people's journey. And so I'm going to let you guys take it over. I'm going to mute out and let's hear it.
All right. So like she said, I do have like a crazy house at all times. The big dogs are in the living room, not too far from the room I'm in. So you might hear barks going on. So I do apologize ahead of time. Another thing I will apologize ahead of time is I do this weird thing. So if the parents on here that have seen Rango, and you know that little weird little lizard girl that she kind of like does that weird freeze thing. Sometimes I do that when I'm like all over the place, and I just own it because that's definitely one of my quirks. And I'm a hot mess mom. I'm all over the place. My thoughts are, honestly, I wrote down things to keep track, and it should be like little like bullet points, but it's like more than that. So I'm gonna do my best, y'all. I'm gonna do my best. So what I wanted to do is definitely start the night off with sharing Mary's story. It's so funny. Q talked about like how we all show up together, and it's definitely, I tell the team all the time, it's us, it's we are 80K because of them. Like, I would not, be where I am today if it wasn't for the team. We definitely make sure to highlight everybody. Every time somebody achieves something, whether it's a new free account, we shout it out. We're excited. Somebody agrees to a 3-day mini experience, we shout it out. We shout that person out for thriving free and for the following month. Every little thing is huge, and the whole team is a part of that. And like I said, I would like to highlight my friend Mary tonight first because it's amazing, this business, this type of thing that we do, we get to build relationships with so many different people. I don't know Mary from anything, okay, guys? She started following me because of nails. So if you're somebody that knows about having 5 things to post about, it's so important because you're going to build your network by different things, and maybe I'll touch a little bit on that. I think it's one of my notes over there. But Mary started following me because of nails, and I'm so happy she did. And I was probably like a weird, annoying girl. After a while, she was probably like, what did I sign up for? And I'll let her talk a little bit more about that. But I'm so proud of her. She's only been doing this for like 3 or 4 months now, and she's already an auto bonus earner. And she's a boss babe. She's a mom. She's a wife. And I'm so proud of her. And I'm just going to pass the mic over to you, Mary. You can let us know about your story, share, some raw truthness of where you were before Thrive, how Thrive's helped you, and where you're going with the business part of things too.
Hey guys, I'm Mary. I'm a mom of 5, and let's just say I have to thank Thrive for being able to find myself again. I've had a crazy life. I'm only 31 years old, but I had a crazy life. I lost my mom when I was 5 due to alcoholism. My dad got remarried, but my dad owns a restaurant. So he's from New York. So he's a pizza man, and that's his life. The pizzeria is his life. So he's always been a hard worker, and he really never had the time to be with his kids. His thing was to support his family. That's who he made himself to be, was a businessman. So I've always been around, being a business type of person and all of that. I had 3 kids. I had 3 kids before I met my husband in 2015. He has a daughter with his first marriage. And when we got together, let me just say that it was like something out of the blue, because at the point in time I was at my hardest in my life. I was a single mom of 3 kids, living in my car with my 3 kids, trying to work 3 jobs. Finally was able to move from my car into a hotel room with my 3 kids, working 3 jobs. I had to have somebody come and stay in the hotel room with my kids so that I could work, because I had no support. My dad was around, but like I said, his business was more important than anything. So it was really tough. Thankfully, I met my husband, and since then, my life changed. We had a baby together as well, but a lot of ups and downs came along with that. I was used to being alone. I was used to doing things by myself, so it was hard for me to allow this wonderful man to be in my life, and not only be in my life, but be a part of my kids' lives. I had some health issues. The liver disease that my mom had, which she passed from, but she passed from it because she wouldn't stop drinking. I happened to have that same disease, and I didn't think anything of it. I just continued to, do my life. I got pregnant with my son, my last son, with my husband, and that's when my health went downhill. My pregnancy was horrible. Many times they told me I was going to lose my son. They told me that when I did have my son, that there was a possibility that him or me would die, because we had different blood streams. So I had to get constant RhoGAM shots so that our blood wouldn't mix. And my health was just horrible. Thankfully, I had my son. My son was preemie. He was in the NICU for 21 days, and he's great. He's amazing. And my health just kept going down and down. So I was always a thin girl, if you want to call it thin, like 145 pounds, nothing over 150. After I had my son, I jumped from the 180. So I gained about 40 something pounds during the pregnancy. I jumped from 180 to 245. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I didn't understand how. I didn't really have the time. I kept telling myself, like, maybe it's because you're not eating enough, because I didn't have the time to really eat. I had other kids in school. I was breastfeeding him. I was trying to be a mom. So it was really difficult. But I tried my best to eat healthy and, eat enough to be healthy. But I just kept gaining. And from 245, it went to 250. And then I was like, okay, there's something wrong. Along with that weight gain came the depression. The the scare of the depression, like you're not happy in your own skin, that you don't want to even look at yourself in the mirror because you're disgusted, that kind of depression. The depression that I didn't even want to get up in the morning and be a mom because I wasn't even happy with myself. I was always exhausted. I was always tired. It was horrible. I went to the doctor, and he told me that I had pre-tubal cancer. So a little backtrack, after I had my son, I did have a tubal ligation because I knew I was done having kids. And that doctor that did my tubal ligation messed up my tubal ligation, left some of the clips that they put in my body, which caused the cancer. And they told me that I needed to have an emergency hysterectomy, and that this hysterectomy could cause a lot of issues because my liver was pretty weak as well. So I had to do what I had to do. He told me, let's try and do something, some medication to see if it'll go away. And I said, no, I don't want to risk it because it's pre now, which means there's a possibility you can remove whatever you need to remove and I'll be okay. But what if I just take this medication and I'm not going to be okay? I have 5 kids to, take care of. And I know what it was like to get raised without a mother. So I didn't want to do that to my children. So I was willing to take every risk that I could. Excuse me, I'm sorry. During this whole thing, I did end up following Bethany for nails. Somebody had mentioned it about me because my husband would try everything. I'm really big with nails and makeup. He would try for me to like go out and do my nails, do my makeup, try to get me back to who I was. I was always a strong, positive person. And the Mary that I was that would come home and just lock herself in the dark and, beg her kids to just lay there with her because she didn't even want to cook. She didn't want to clean. She didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to even go in public. That wasn't me. So he tried so much. So I had reached out to Bethany about the nails, but I was following her just to, see. And I saw that she was doing Thrive. This was back in 2018 that I started following Bethany. Bethany reached out a couple of times and I turned her down. I was like, no, I had already tried everything to lose the weight and nothing worked. It was just a waste of money. I didn't want to waste any more money. I didn't want to get high hopes and it not work for me. So I told her no a bunch of times. And then one day out of the blue, it was probably one of the hardest days of my life. I was going through a really strong custody battle with my daughter, and my daughter's father picked her up from school that day and left to Kentucky. And I didn't know what was going to happen, how I was going to get her back. It was horrible. So that day I was not sleeping. I was, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think. I couldn't do anything. And yeah, I had other children here with me, but it was so hard for me to even focus. And Bethany had posted that day, how many of you don't get a good night's sleep? And for some reason I was like, girl, me. And she was like, and from then the conversation went on. She told me about Thrive. And again, I told her, no. I was like, I can't, I don't, it sounds interesting, but I can't afford it. And I just blew her off again. A couple of months later, this was March, I went in for my hysterectomy. And when I woke up, the first thing that I noticed after the hysterectomy was that I had this like feeling, this black cloud come over me again that kept telling me, you got over this one, but something else is going to come. And I was like, what is going on? I came home. I did my recovery. As I'm recovering from my hysterectomy, Bethany again posts a post. I have a free 3-day mini sample. Who wants it? I looked at my husband and he was like, you're going to waste your time again. Like, Mary, you just got over this. Give your body some time to, heal. think about this before you just jump into anything. And I was like, listen, I don't know why, but every time I'm in this ball of just like emotion and depression, for some reason, this lady has to post something that calls my attention. For some reason, this has to be God telling me, hey, try this. Because I don't understand how every single time, and it was every single time that I was in my darkest spot, I would see a Thrive post from Bethany. And I'm like, I don't know if she's doing this to me on purpose. I don't know what is this, but okay, I'm done. So I messaged her and she said, all I need you to do is for these 3 days is to post that I'm giving you a sample, and I want you to tell me, and I want you to post how you feel. I'm like, okay. This was on a Friday, and I was like, do I have to start it today? And she was like, no, you don't have to. I was like, okay, I'm going to start it on Monday. So I wake up Monday, and I actually woke up with no alarm, and I was like, okay. I think my body was like so excited to try something new. So I woke up and I came to the kitchen, and my husband's like, oh, you're going to try that crap? And I was like, yeah, I am. So I took my capsules, I waited 20 minutes, took my shake, slapped on my patch, and he was like, well, do you want to go for a walk? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go for a walk. As I'm walking, I put on music. I started dancing. I started laughing. He looked over to me and he said, whoever gave you that, we need to find out what's in that. What is that? Because just a couple of weeks ago, you were so depressed. You were so annoyed with life. You kept telling me that you couldn't do it anymore. And over here you are, it's 6:30 in the morning, lady, and you're dancing. You're dancing with your kids in the middle of the street at 6:30 in the morning. Something's going on. And I was like, okay, I just blew it off. I did feel amazing, but I blew it off. Day 2, I hit the detox stage. So I was feeling amazing, but at the same time I wasn't. I had messaged Bethany. I was like, hey, I have a little slight headache and a little bit nausea. Is that normal? She's like, yes, drink water. Okay. Which is huge for me, let me tell you, because I hated water. I would have to force myself to drink water. Soda was my thing. So I saw that I was, drinking a whole bunch of water after I spoke to her. I went to go cook dinner, and instead of, like making pasta, which is easy because I have so many kids, I actually made a whole meal of grilled chicken and, vegetables. And my husband looked at me again. He's like, you're going to eat vegetables? You don't eat vegetables, Mary. And I was like, can you stop? Let me try it. So I had my meal, and I woke up, I felt amazing, went to sleep. I slept, which was big for me because the insomnia was huge. For the past 5 years, if I got 2 to 3 hours of sleep, it was, it was a miracle. And I actually slept. And those 3 days, I actually got my 8 hours of sleep. Day 3 came, and I messaged Bethany and I said, listen, I am broke. I just got over a surgery that I had to pay out of pocket. I don't have the money, but I have some investment coming in. It was an inheritance from my mom. And something in my heart is telling me that I need to invest in this. So what do I got to do? I'm going full force. She's like, okay. So she's like, so you're going to be a promoter, right? I was like, I'm not really good at it. She's like, you're going to be a promoter, right? I'm like, okay. I went full force. When I tell you I went full force, I looked at my husband and I said, I don't care. These $400 that we have right here, we're getting that $400 pack because I'm not doing this alone. I'm bringing you with me. And he was like, oh, you're full of it. You're full of it. I don't have time for your little jokes and games and a little sticker on your arm. Like, come on, Mary, what is that? So I was like, I don't care. And let me tell you, that has been the best leap of life that I have ever taken. I'm me again. I wake up in the morning excited to be alive. I wake up in the morning excited to have my children here. yeah, I still have trials and tribulation. I can't say that it's, you know, been a miracle and it, you know, cleaned out all the badness from my life. No, there's trials and tribulation with everything you do. You know, it's life. But that Mary that locked herself in the room, that Mary that didn't want to live anymore, that Mary that wasn't there for her family. My marriage was failing. My kids were noticing, Mommy, what's wrong with you? Why are you always crying? That Mary wasn't there anymore. So here I am. It's about almost 13 weeks that I've been thriving. And I just have to tell you guys that it has been a roller coaster. Yes, this whole promoting is amazing, you know, the commission that you get, but it's not all about that. It's the feeling that I get inside when I get those messages from my customers, my promoters, of how wonderful they're feeling. You know, when I get those messages from my customers and promoters that said, Mary, I've had a migraine every day for the past 3 years, and I've been thriving for a week, and that's gone. Mary, I have been struggling to lose weight, and I have not been able to lose weight. Here I am 2 weeks later and I'm 20 pounds down. I've been thriving for 13 weeks myself and I am down 48 pounds. 48 pounds that I had tried anything and everything to do and I couldn't get them off. And that was my biggest annoying part, was that, and it wasn't because I was fat. It was just, I can feel myself. I was unhealthy. I didn't have the energy. I was miserable. I would wake up in the morning and I'm into makeup and I would look at my makeup and just shoo it aside. Like, I didn't want to brush my hair. Lord, if I brushed my teeth, you know, but I was like, let me brush my teeth before I scare some people away. But it's been crazy. My team is absolutely amazing. The support that we have, I have to tell you, I think that is the best part about it all, is that I know for a fact at my lowest moments, there's many times that I tell Bethany, I don't know if I can do this, girl. I don't know. And she just looks at me and she's like, what? You got this. You got this. And I'm like, you know what? I do got this. I'm not going to let everybody or all the problems of the world get to me and tell me that I can't do this. You know why? Because I have a calling, and my calling and my heart has always been to help others. And I finally have the chance to help others in a way that has helped me so much, so much. I can shout out to the world that I have not only lost weight, I no longer have headaches. I can use the bathroom, because I used to go 2 weeks without being able to go to the bathroom. I used to have to go to the hospital to get cleaned out because I couldn't use the bathroom. I'm regulated. My hormones are better. The doctor looked at me and he was like, that's what you're doing? Continue. He's like, do not stop. Do not stop. I have my mood support, no more anxiety, no more depression. I'm happy. I'm me. And I just have to tell you guys, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be ups and downs. Do not give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on others that are watching you. Some way, somehow, you're making an impact in their life. They are waiting, they're watching, they're listening. So keep showing up. Keep showing up. And amazing things are to come. Have the faith. Never give up. Thank you, guys.
Oh my gosh. Like, seriously, okay, guys, we were both like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to talk. Like, we do it all the time with our team and stuff, you know. But I just want to tell you, Mary, I don't know if you saw the chat in here in Zoom, but everybody's like, wow, amazing, unbelievable. I can relate to you. I've gone through that too. You are so strong, girl. Not just our team. There's other people, I don't even know these people, their names. They're cheering you on. You are so inspiring, and I'm so proud of you. And how am I supposed to tell my story now? I just want to let you guys know that people like Mary that are part of like my organization, it sounds weird to say that, but they're the type of people that make me wake up and keep doing what I'm doing. you know, she's somebody I talk to every single day. She's somebody that's pledged to herself and told me, look, I want to do this. Yes, I have my off days. Yes, I have my great days. I want to do this. So she's somebody that I invest my time in, my energy in. You know, I invest credits in, I invest product in, whatever she needs from me, I'm there because she's showing up every single day, even with everything that she has going on. And those are the type of people you want to pay attention to and want to put your attention, want to invest your time, energy, and everything else into. There's other people that are going to come and go. There's other people that are going to kind of be like, hey, I just want to be a part of something. That's cool too. But, you know, kind of meet people at that halfway mark. Don't give all your energy to people that are just trying to be cool or whatever. And that's fine. If you just want to be a part of this and thrive for free, that's awesome. That's dope. You chose to be a promoter. You chose to be a leader. That's amazing. But I just wanted to put that out there. Like, always make sure that you're not leaving those rock stars like, oh, they know what they're doing. They got this because Mary's 12K. She got this. No, she still needs you. She's not 200K yet. You know what I mean? But those people that are straggling, coming in and out, and then all of a sudden, hey, sis, do you have $50 in credits for me? I haven't thrived in like so long. And I actually, no, but I can go show you how to get some. Like, there's a compliance test you could take. You can get 25 right there. Like, we're not doing that. We're trying to create leaders and we're not babying nobody, okay? Because babying is just enabling and we don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? They need to do a lot of their own inner work. Excuse me, I'm on a Zoom, so I'll holler at you in like 30 minutes. Close the door, please. Thank you. All right, so my story is a little different because I've been in this for 5 years, guys. I've been in it and I've seen a lot of these people like do amazing things that are on here that have been doing it as long as me or just a little bit under the amount of time I've been doing it. And, you know, a lot of times, like, we can all compare ourselves and our journey to other people that we see shooting, like doing crazy things. Like, I have girls in it, you know, within a couple of weeks, within a couple of months, they're like, Beth, I'm trying to be like you. I'm like, girl, I'm trying to be like you. I didn't do those things in my first months or weeks or years of doing this. So never compare yourself. That's like one of the main things on my bullet points here. Never compare yourself to anybody else doing things. Like, there's some really dope influencers that are a part of our company. Maybe they're not in our team, and other people look at their stuff like, oh my gosh, their pictures are dope. And they're so inspiring, the things they're saying. But yeah, you got to work your way up to that. Like, why don't you scroll a couple of years down their Instagram where they saying the same thing? Like, you really can never compare yourself to anybody. But okay, so back to me, my journey started in 2015. I started because, you know, I was tired mommy. I thought I was at my lowest. I thought I was at my lowest because I was a little overweight, a little grumpy, and tired. I was working. Money wasn't an issue because money was an issue years before that. But what money really wasn't an issue because I had built my nails business to like super busy, super booked, and I was proud of it, but overworked. By the time I got home, my kids, my husband, nobody had any of me. I gave it all to my work. I gave it all to my clients. And I was pretty much silent around the people that deserved my love and energy. So being introduced to the Thrive products did change me dramatically. Like, I had the energy, I was talkative, like people were like, who is this Bethany? Like, it was really life-changing. And I can talk all day long about how the products have helped me. I can check off every single thing on the back of the box of what it says it helps you with. It helps me every single day, 5 years later, with every single thing. And I still be like, oh my gosh, like, my wrists don't hurt today. I used to have that problem because I do nails. So it still amazes me as to what the products do for me, what they do for my friends, our team. It's dope. The products speak for itself. So today I kind of want to give you my whole little journey of promoting. Again, remember, I've been doing this for 5 years. So my first year of doing this, I just wanted to do something fun. I wanted the energy. I felt good. I was going to thrive. And if I can get it for free, dope. That's what my mentality was. I had an upline, but she started like a week before I did. I was part of her VIP 800. I didn't hit VIP 800. Her upline was Dana Chuva. And so we kind of watched Dana like do crazy, amazing things, which is super inspiring. We saw people go on vacations, earn cars. I'm like, what? That's crazy. This company does that. Just like so naive to everything that was in front of me. But I really didn't have an upline that was in it. You know what I mean? Like, she just liked the product too, thought the idea of growing was cool, but didn't really push for things. it wasn't until 2016, I want to say, that I was like making some moves. I saw, you know, what I can do with this business, because I went to Palooza, and that really opened my mind. So we ran to 12K. I was opening businesses, salons, partnering with a family member. We were doing big things. Everything that I wanted, I was like manifest queen before I even knew what that word was. Like, I was like, I'm getting it. Nothing is going to stop me from that. But I was still like, my time management was weird. Like, all my time and focus was just on business. I didn't build relationships. I was just getting the sale. I was bringing in the numbers, and okay, cool, moving on to the next. So if everybody that ordered back then was still thriving, whoo, we did millionaire, honey. But, you know, I didn't do that, take that extra step and create relationships. I was just so focused on me and hitting things and being biggest and best, and everybody knows who I am. I do nails. Everybody knows Nails by Bethany. So that was my main focus. We even ended up opening up a small fitness studio. So I had Thrive, was killing it in Thrive, killing it with my salon, killing it with our fitness studio. Lavelle had announced their crazy bonuses. If you hit the next rank, you get that bonus. Like, what? Oh, I'm getting that, period. 40K, got it. $40,000 bonus, hit that, okay? But not just, okay, so I said I thought I was at my lowest. Lowest didn't come until I had got to my highest, okay? So mentally, I thought we were all good. I didn't believe in depression. I didn't believe in anxiety. That stuff never came to me because I never worried about anything. I always got whatever I wanted, and that was that. I was even that kid with my mom, like, I'm gonna be real. Out of all the kids, if I wanted it, she was gonna get it. And so I've never felt failure. I've never feared anything about this business because I didn't have that experience. You know what I mean? It was ignorance on fire. A lot of times we talk about ignorance on fire, it could be a good thing, but in my case, I don't really see it as a great thing because I didn't know any better. I had no real life experience. I was naive. My son calls me naive all the time, but I do have to agree. Like, I was naive at that time period. And so it was like my biggest year, 2017, hitting everything that the company threw at us. We earned so many vacations. We earned both my husband and I earned our auto bonus. Like, we were killing it. Mark had his own 12K team with like nothing but men. Like, what? Oh, men? That's crazy. Like, we were killing it. But, you know, life hit. I lost all my businesses because a bad relationship situation with my business partner. My business partner was also one of my top leaders in Lavelle. So a lot of things were done and said to the point of, literally, like, we're gonna get real. Like, we've had family members try to kill my husband. We've had DCF called on us because of the hatred. And when DCF knocked on my door, some of my team members don't know this. When DCF knocked on my door, I was like, oh, sit down, sis. I'll tell you all about those crazy people. And she was there for me. I was like, what? I'm like so square. Like, I do no drugs. I don't drink. I work all the time. Why? What's going on here? So they made up so many lies about me and my family. And I was just so happy that I was the only one home, because I don't know how my husband would have dealt with that, like, off guard. My kids weren't there, so they didn't have to be like weirded out by a strange lady coming questioning me. But the lady was like, okay, your story seems straight, but I need to interview your kids. I'm like, my kids? Why? They're like so little. What do you mean interview them? They were at Mark's mom's house. So she drove over there and talked to my kids. And my kids just like talking to her like she's grandma's friend or something. And I didn't have anything to worry about because I'm not doing anything wrong. But it was something that I felt so attacked. Those same people who we trust and loved and shared everything with really like turned around and like backstabbed us in every single way. They still to this day, it's like 3-4 years later, and still to this day talk bad about us. They went all the way to Dana Chuva. Dana has no idea what's going on and went in her inbox trying to spread rumors and things like that, trying to just tear us down in every single way. So that already was like a killer to my spirit. Like, I've never dealt with drama. I've never dealt with things not going my way. I've never dealt with losing things. And just like that, I had to make the decision, like, do I want to deal with this and lose my sanity, or am I just going to be like, bye? So I had to make that decision and just leave them. Like, y'all can have that. I'm still Nails by Bethany. I'm still me. Y'all can have the salon. Do whatever you want with the fitness studio. I'm out. Because who would want to deal with that, you know? To this day, like, there's some sales that come on from that leg, and it's almost like I wish Lavelle would have said they can leave, like, because I wrote them. I'm like, we have a restraining order on these people. They're nuts. They're crazy. They need to get the heck off my thing. And they were like, listen, you just need to just don't talk to them. And I was like, okay. They just didn't want to get involved with our family drama, basically. So I'm like, all right. And, you know, I had to, let me backtrack a little bit. Sorry, guys, because I'm going to get like all over the place. So with them doing that to me, it put me in a dark place. But I had to kind of do a lot of mental work because, hello, what else? Where do you go from there? I was losing members, part of my team, because they were part of their team. So everything was just crawling, like crumbling down. So I thought I was starting to pick myself up again and started to go on like different paloozas and trips and stuff, but I still wasn't there mentally. I still wasn't the leader that I knew I could be. I started being aggressive. Like, I'm an aggressive person. I'm a tough person. I told Q, I'm a tough mom. I'm a tough wife. I'm a tough leader, and I give tough love. If you're getting the toughness, it's because I care. If you're not getting it, it means it's like, oh, okay, cool, go do you. So it was different. It was aggressive, and it was angry, and they could feel that, and they were all just trickling away. I would hop on my Zooms that used to be packed, and there was like a couple of people on there. So that would like mess with my pride. That would mess with my mental again. Like, I'm not a leader. How can I lead? Nobody trusts me. I'm not hitting getaways anymore. I'm 4K. Who the heck wants to listen to a 4K? I talk down to myself. You know, the realest thing I heard the other night when I forgot her name. She was the first person on these Zooms. She said, don't talk. Watch how you talk about your team. Don't talk down on your team. You know what I mean? Because you're basically going to create that. And I did. I said that nobody respects me. Nobody can trust me. Nobody believes me. And then nobody was there. I created that. I made that happen. And so again, I thought I was picking myself up a little bit, but I get the worst news I could ever get. Mom got sick. So Bethany was way up here, ain't nothing. I'm hopping from cloud 9 to cloud 20 on the rainbows with my unicorn. And then like team is crumbling apart. No longer have my nail salon, no longer have my fitness studio, trying to pick up the pieces. I'm like trying to make it. We brought Mark home. I'm only working on my one income. I no longer have a salon. Focusing on my 4K income and my little bit of my own nails. You know, I lost some clients too because I just wasn't able to keep up with things. And mom got sick. So that was a whole other thing that I had to deal with. She was the only person that raised me. I lost my father when I was 7 to cancer. And then we find out of nowhere that mom has cancer. And it was serious. We found out 4th of July weekend, September she passed. She didn't make it to my wedding. All the firsts come, her birthday, my wedding, Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything comes right back to back after that. And I really did not know how to deal with it. I know there's a few of you on here that I've reached out to through the ups and downs of everything, trying to figure out like, how can I snap out of this craziness? Like, it's Twilight Zone, like what the heck? And it took me a whole year, y'all. It took me a whole year. I tried to go back into conversations with people to see like where it clicked. And yeah, it wasn't until, you know, I call it the dark year. 2018 was the dark year because I was still like, I was in my room most of the time and just under the covers, and I couldn't mom, and I just didn't know why I was being so attacked. Like, so many bad things would keep happening, and it's like, I'm a damn good person. Why is this stuff happening to me? You know, I have no like bad you know, intent towards anybody, and all this stuff was happening to me. I told Q I may or may not cry, so I'm trying to hold it back. So it was like the dark year, I call it. Mark calls it the growth year because we needed to go through all this stuff. I feel like as a leader, you have to go through those ups and downs. I wasn't able to lead anybody or be there to relate with anybody because I didn't understand pain. I didn't understand trials and tribulations. I didn't get that. I didn't understand anxiety. There were so many times, anytime I got a phone call, I thought it was something else, and I was like freaked out. I didn't understand, stress. I didn't understand depression. All of that stuff came to me that year. And, I had to reach out. I had to decide one day. It was literally the following September. I had to decide, like, you can either just let go of all this and just quit, or you're going to figure this out, reach up, reach out, reach sideways to somebody to help you. And I decided to get to 200K. Like, I have to build this. I'm not a quitter, and I'm going to make this happen. So I adopted other leaders. I adopted Leanne. I adopted Q and Tommy. I adopted Shireen. I adopted like their whole team. And I would talk to them, and they would help me, and they would suggest things. Even it was just like, girl, you got this. That's all I needed, because I didn't have nobody telling me that. And that's why it's so important to be there for your leaders, to be there for your team, to build those relationships of just, girl, you got this, because they might not be hearing that from anybody else. Even if they do, like, Mark is amazing. Mark sometimes is like, I don't know if I should say something. Should I stay out here? Where should I go? You good? But I needed to hear that from other people that knew what I was trying to get to. So, I went and I asked for help. I look back at messages and I kind of cringe, because I said a lot of like, oh, but I don't have a team, and I'm doing everything, and I got all these qualifications, and we don't have the rank to hit, and I'm doing everything I can, but nobody else is working. Okay, girl. Oh my gosh, if I was talking to myself today, girl, go find somebody. Girl, you need to switch that mentality. It's not about you. It's about who can you help next. Who needs to hear your story? Leanne told me that. You need to go tell your story again. You need to go practice your story. Go share your story. Who can you help? You need to wake up every day like excited about who are you gonna make them feel better, even if it's just, hey, how you doing? I heard you wasn't feeling good. I saw your status on Facebook. How you doing, girl? There's people that I'll say that to, just checking in on you, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna buy Thrive. Girl, chill. I'm not asking about that. I'm wondering how you doing. We have to wake up every day. Who can I serve? Who can I help? And not just only what can I get out of it, because that's not how you're going to win. And I had to find that out real quick. Watch videos. I've watched so many training videos from people within our company, from people that do network marketing. Sometimes other leaders will tag me in other videos, like, watch this, and I watch it. They'll send it to me, watch this, and I watch it. I listen to podcasts every single day. I don't even listen to music anymore in the car. I just listen to my podcast, because, I got that luxury vehicle, so it's like Bluetooth and podcasts and stuff. And and I read books. I try to learn, because we can never grow if we don't learn from other people, if we hear from the same people every single day. I tell my leaders all the time, like, listen, you might not speak my language. Like, you might need to hear from other leaders. Please hop onto these Zooms. I share other leaders' Zooms all the time with them. Find somebody you look up to. Clearly, I've named off a few people that I look up to from different things. I reach out to different people for different things. Who do you look up to and respect their hustle? Respect how they speak. Respect how they treat others. Don't just look at the flashy things, because people that flash and things all the time, they just overcompensating. You know what I mean? Really, really watch how people talk to people and treat people. And a huge thing is you need to take care of yourself first, because I was in such a bad place and I was pointing fingers at everybody, and I didn't take time to work on my mental health. And mental health is so important. A lot of people don't talk about it, and I never knew it was a thing. A lot of people don't understand it's a thing. A lot of people don't know they're going through it when it's real as hell. You need to take care of you first, because you won't be able to genuinely love on others, genuinely share your experience, genuinely help others, your family, your children, your husband, your wife, your friends, your team. So you need to be 100% okay. Every morning, I make sure that I get myself together before I answer any message, before I go into any Zoom, before I talk to anyone. You are in control of how you set the tone of your day. If you see somebody complaining in your inbox, put that joint on mute and do not answer anything. You need to 100% have yourself okay before you go deal with anybody else. So go read your books, go listen to your podcast, go read your Bible, go meditate, go do some flips, whatever your thing is, go ahead and do that so you feel good and okay, now you can work. You might need a whole hour of it or maybe just 15 minutes, but make sure you work on you first. All right, and another thing I want to say, be consistent, especially when you have nobody watching, especially when you feel like you're in a funk. You need to still show up. I let people know when I'm in a funk. I'm so damn authentic these days. Like, I let it be known. And I get people in my inbox saying, thank you for being so real. Thank you for showing up as you. And they're not even thrivers, but they see it. They understand that I've switched. They see the shift. You know what I mean? And they appreciate that. And maybe they'll come around. So there was for like such a long time that I wasn't ever myself. Maybe that first year, maybe 2015, I was myself. But after that, I was trying to be who I thought other people wanted me to be, and it wasn't working. I wasn't attracting my tribe. And I feel like finally being myself, being vulnerable, sharing my real stories, letting people know like the ups and downs of life, letting people see me cry because they're like, Bethany's a badass. No, I'm just like really hard on the outside. I'm soft. I cry about everything. And, you know, like let people know that like, if you're quirky, it's okay. Quirky's cool. Like being too cool is not cool. Like, so I just wanted to say, be yourself, be consistent. What's on page 2? I won't go through it because I don't want to be too long. All right, this is the last thing. Most important thing that I try to tell everybody. Your upline doesn't determine your success. I don't even have an upline. I have like step parents, godparents, adopted people. Your downlines don't determine your success. Your sidelines, nobody, your husband, your wife, your kids, your situation, none of that determines your success. It's only you. You cannot depend on one person. Oh, my upline isn't showing up. So what? Go show up. Go be that 200K, go be that 80K, go be that 12K that you want to be. Nobody can stop you except for yourself. And you need to understand that. There's a lot of people that complain like, oh, my team's not showing up. Okay, go find a new team. Dana Tuba used to tell me that all the time. And I'm like, that is so cliche and so like not helping me. Like, how do I find more people? You got to show up. You got to be consistent. They will come. There's times where I'm like, I don't want to post this thing. It's like so like out there and like asking for the sale, but post. And then all of a sudden somebody comes in my inbox. Go find them, show up, be consistent. You determine your success. So I hope I didn't ramble too much. There's definitely more, but you know, I'll leave that for another day.
Bethany. So someone asked, what books do you read? What books are you reading right now and podcasts are you listening to?
All right. So I am like one of those people that, oh, that person said that, I'm getting it. Now I forgot her name. The chick that we listened to on Courtney's Zoom, she's like super loud, crazy.
Jessie
Lee.
Yes, her. So I was listening to one of her podcasts and she said to go get the book Superfans, and that's what I'm listening to, reading right now. Like I'm listening to it in the car and it's super dope. I definitely suggest it to you. It's mind-blowing. You'll really understand how to create your super fans. This is something I tell my team. Like I like to imagine that our social media is reality TV. So it was so funny how they said super fans. So your social media is reality TV. Your stories, like when you say, you know, paint the picture and stuff, that's your commercials. And then throw in the episodes and, you know, you throw your Thrive commercial in there. You want to gain those super fans. You want them to like you, love you, become obsessed with you and do whatever you're doing.
Yes, you know, it's so funny you say that. One day we were walking downtown over here where we live, and some lady came out of the yoga place and she ran up to Tommy and said, "You're Thomas Tidwell and you're his wife." And I was like, yeah.
It's a thing.
She was like, "You on Facebook?" I was like, oh, okay.
And that's why you got to remain yourself, because if you come on here like, hey guys, hey everybody, and then they see you out in public, you're like, what? You better like just be yourself and let them like know who you're going to be when they come up to you.
Yes. She said that to us too. We stood on the corner and we talked to her for like 30 minutes. And before she left, she goes, "It's so great to see that you guys are really like this in person." And so, yes, be yourself, be authentic, and become the local thriver. You want to become the local celebrity. where everybody knows you, because you know what? All those people telling you no, when they're looking and when they're ready to thrive, they will come looking for you, because you'll be who they heard it from first. Does anybody else have questions for Bethany? Bethany, I never heard that version of your story. All this time you've been holding out on me, girl.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
Ann has a question.
Well, it's not really a question. It's just a statement. I just remember when I started, Bethany has always been a boss. Don't let her fool you. She has always been a boss. I remember I don't even know if it was my first lifestyle getaway or second. I was like, Jeremiah, I'm still coming in there. Go. Jeremiah, that's Bethany. She was the girl with the story, and she had like this with her rank badge. She was running. I was like, that's who I want to be like. I want to be a boss like her. So girl, from the jump, you have inspired me all day, every day. And I went all the way back through your message when you were saying that. And I remember the first time I reached out to you, it was after everything happened with your mom and all the things. And of course, you didn't put everything out publicly, but something that you posted made me want to reach out to you. And I said, I don't know what happened, but my heart says to reach out and send you love, hugs, and prayers for strength. And you just you didn't even respond to me. You gave me like a smiley face a month later, but it's okay. It was totally fine. I had no idea what was happening.
There were people in my inbox that wanted to buy Thrive that it didn't even respond to, because I was that like upset and that sad, that angry. And
but it was perfect. It was okay. And we've grown this amazing side sister love and friendship. So I appreciate you being a boss from the very jump, ups, downs, lefts, rights, no matter what you have to go through. And thank you so much for pouring into our team tonight, you and Mary both.
What tools do you use to pull yourself out of a funk, Bethany?
What tools do I use? Sometimes when I first needed to get myself out of the funk, it's so funny because, you reach out for everything. Like some people would be like, I found God, different things like that when they're at their lowest. But I was actually raised in a church. My father was a pastor. And then my mom was like, always had us in the church. I was like a little like super leader person in church and stuff. And so I've always known that there's a higher power. So that was something that I always did, is like, whether it's just like meditating and praying to yourself, I will lay down. I'll get up in the morning, but I lay down and I envision how I want my day to go. I envision who I'm going to speak to. I do a lot of that. Like I try to take control. I'm a control freak. I'm kind of crazy. I try to control how my day is going to go. I understand who I'm going to see in the salon. I understand who I want to talk to. And I try to just like, that relieves my anxiety. And I think I had anxiety today because I didn't know who I was going to talk to and how my words were going to come out. But, I really try to take control of my day. So that's what helps me, like, set the tone and stuff.
Well, I want to say, you guys, I know you've heard her story, but I really want to, shine a spotlight on, she was a 40K, guys. She was a 40K and lost all of it. Like, I want y'all to think about that. A 40K team and drop down to, I don't know your lowest point, but
4K.
A 4K. And she rebuilt. Like, she rebuilt, drug herself out of that dark place, and she rebuilt. So don't ever think that, it's over for you. Like, things are gonna happen in your business. Things are gonna happen all the time. And like, that is one of the main, Bethany, I am so proud of you. You have no idea how, like, we've watched your journey, like seeing you like messages, no, I'm not gonna be able to make it on a getaway. And we like, damn.
It was like, I wanted to be there.
Like, damn. You're like, man.
That was like my pride and everything. Like, I didn't even post about it. I was going to post about it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to talk about it. And, that's what made me feel like I can't be a leader. Like, they know me to like do all the things. And now I'm not. Like, who's going to trust that? And yeah, like we went all the way to 4K barely. And, it took us a couple of years to get to 40K plus. And then I'd like to say, ever since Shantae had put Shantae 2.0, like that's what I've been calling some of my girls that have been coming back and like, you know, coming out of, you know, just restarting. And Thriving 2.0 started December 2019. And this is the fastest we ever grown. So this is a whole new team. This is a whole new venture, new journey and everything. And I'm very proud of everybody. And just know that, you know, you never know who's going to be the next person to help you with your business. And I say help you because you're locking arms and you're running together. Without, you know, I'm going to say Samantha was one of the first people. I'm like, who's still thriving? Like, who's even still thriving? And it could be anybody. It could be a customer. It could be a customer's referral. You better dig deep if you're trying to rebuild. Who can you help? Who can you help? They know somebody. If you don't have no friends, they got friends. Somebody else, you can help somebody. And that's where we started.
I remember being in a three-way with
Oh.
Brenda, a three-way chat. And look at Brenda now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember us, I think, I forgot, I think it was a local in Florida where you and all your girls showed up. Leanne's local in Florida. And when we got back home, me and Q were talking about it. Like, we were so happy for you.
Oh my gosh, guys.
We were like,
so proud.
We were like, she did it. Like, she
cry.
done rebuilt her team. She done got her girl squad. Like, they were showing up for each other every day. We were like, she did it. Like, and that was a while ago. And they've just been growing like crazy ever since. So I just want to say I'm super proud of you. Kudos to you for rebuilding, for not giving up. And you guys, if you like, just think about it. If you lost a 40K team, what that would do to you. And for you to rebuild it, like, that's definitely hats off to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been amazing. And the tribe is super dope to be able to do that. We got, we're going to have new 40Ks soon. We're going to have a couple of 40Ks come up after her. We have new 12Ks. Like, we have stuff popping like, oh my God, VIP. I'm like, Mark, another VIP today. He's like, so that's regular. I'm like, you're right, but we still celebrating. So it's been awesome. And like, they're doing crazy stuff that I've never seen before. So I'm super excited. And guys, honestly, be a copycat for a little bit. Don't like, you know, verbatim. Be a copycat. See what you like and what's working. I'll be in their inbox. Guys, what y'all doing now? Okay, I'm gonna do that too. Hold on, you're back. What y'all doing now? Oh, okay. Don't be afraid to ask, because if somebody's an amazing leader, they're gonna share some of their tips and tricks with you. You know what I mean?
All right, guys. Any other questions? Absolutely love Bethany. Y'all don't all be friending her, okay? She's mine, so back off, okay? I'm just joking. All right, guys, so I'm gonna let everybody go. I will say this, rock bottom will teach you things that mountaintops never will. So please remember that. If you're at the bottom, it's not over. It's time to rebuild and get back to the top. All right, everybody, God bless. Good night. Don't forget, drop your takeaways. And did y'all get a picture? Wait, don't hang up. Wait, don't get off. Smile. Hold on. Let me get my camera out. Okay, ready? Got it. All right. Have a good night, everybody.